I never thought a single word could shatter me, but hers did. I can't, not now, Emily whispered, her eyes avoiding mine. My chest tightened, and the noise of the cafeteria melted into a dull hum. I blinked, trying to process. Wait, what? You're saying no. My voice cracked. I had rehearsed this moment 1,000 times, imagined her laughing, smiling, saying yes, promising she'd always be mine. Not this. She shrugged, faint smile still in place, like she was uncomfortable with her own words. I'm sorry. It's not about you. I just can't do this. People would talk, and I pressed, heart hammering. I couldn't let this go. And what? You don't feel the same. Or you're scared of what they think. Emily looked down, twisting her hands. I don't know. I need time. This is too much right now. She stepped back, as if distance could erase the bond we'd promised each other. Please, don't hate me. Hate you. I laughed bitterly, more tears than sound in my chest. I don't even know how I feel right now, Emily. I thought you were different. Different? I am different, she said quickly. But not like you think. I can't. I held up a hand, stopping her before she could retreat into excuses. You don't have to explain. Just tell me the truth. My voice was raw, trembling. Do you want someone else? Or is it all just pride? Emily didn't answer. She only looked at me with that faint, flawless smile that had always made my knees weak. But now, it felt like daggers. Before I could speak again, Liam grabbed my shoulder, his face pale. Hey, man, come on. Don't let her. He hesitated, searching for words. Don't let her ruin this for you. I shook him off, barely noticing him. My focus was all on her. Emily, did you ever really mean it? All those plans, all those promises. Her eyes softened, a glimmer of guilt there, but she shook her head. I did. I meant them. But high school, it's complicated. People judge, and I didn't want to hurt you later. I laughed, though it sounded hollow even to me. Hurt me later? You just hurt me now. My hands shook. I trusted you. I gave you everything, and this is how you repay me. Emily's gaze dropped. I didn't mean to hurt you. I swear, I never wanted to hurt you. I wasn't ready. Not ready, I repeated, tasting the words like poison. Do you know how long I waited? How many nights I imagined us, together? And now, nothing. My voice cracked. You're gone. She stepped closer, hesitant. I'll always care about you. Maybe one day. Maybe one day, I echoed, and something in me snapped. I turned, walked away, but every step felt like dragging my own soul through fire. Liam fell into step beside me. Man. I'm sorry, he said softly. I know she. Save it, I said, voice shaking. I can't even think straight. Why would she do this? Why now? I thought she loved me. She did, Liam said, firm but gentle. Maybe she still does. But, people screw up. High school, it changes people. I laughed bitterly again. She didn't just screw up. She crushed me. Liam didn't argue. He just clapped me on the shoulder. Then don't let her win. Don't let her pain define you. You'll see, time will show who really mattered. I wanted to believe him, but the raw ache in my chest told me otherwise. I couldn't stop thinking about her face, her words, her smile that hid betrayal. I wanted to scream, cry, throw something, anything. But I stayed silent, walking down the crowded hallway, everyone's laughter and chatter blurring into white noise. Emily's figure lingered in my mind, perfect and unreachable. And somewhere deep down, a small, stubborn part of me whispered that one day, maybe, she'd regret it. Maybe she'd realize what she lost. But for now, I only had the bitter taste of rejection, and the painful, gnawing truth that my world had just split in two. I didn't sleep much last night. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw her face, heard her words, "I can't, not now." My alarm rang, but I stayed in bed, staring at the ceiling. How was I supposed to go to school today, knowing she'd be there, pretending nothing happened? When I finally dragged myself into the cafeteria, I spotted Liam waving me over. "You look like hell, man," he said, smirking. "Thanks," I muttered, dropping into the seat across from him. Sarah slid in beside me, eyes wide. "I heard. Emily, she really said no?" "Yeah," I said, voice tight. "Publicly. In front of everyone." Liam rubbed my shoulder. "Man, that sucks. But come on, you're stronger than this. You can't let her." "Don't tell me I'm stronger," I snapped, but the words felt weak, hollow even to me. "I trusted her, Liam. I thought she was the one." Sarah reached across the table. "Hey, you're not alone. We're here. You're not broken, okay? It's not the end." I wanted to believe her. I wanted to grab onto that lifeline, but my chest ached like it was full of shattered glass. I keep seeing her face everywhere," I admitted. "In class, in the hallways. I even dreamed about her last night, saying she didn't care about me at all." Liam frowned. "Nightmares, huh? Man. I get it. But maybe that's your brain trying to deal with it. You can't control how she acts, only how you respond." I chewed my lip, staring at my hands. Maybe you're right. But it still hurts." Sarah's voice was gentle. "It would hurt anyone. But you've got a choice. You can let this crush you, or you can figure out what you deserve. And I promise, it's more than this." I looked up at her, surprised by her certainty. "You really think I deserve better?" She nodded. "Absolutely. Don't let her pride define your life. Not now, not ever." Liam leaned back, smirking despite the tension. "See? You're already on the path to revenge, or whatever you want to call it. Except, maybe don't hurt yourself in the process." I laughed softly, but it was tinged with bitterness. "Revenge? No, it's not about that. I want to stop feeling small." Across the cafeteria, I caught sight of Vanessa, giggling with a group of friends. She glanced at me and whispered something to them, her smirk obvious. My stomach twisted. "Unbelievable," I muttered. "Even she's enjoying this." Sarah rolled her eyes. "Ignore her. People like that thrive on others' misery. Don't feed it." I nodded, but the ache didn't fade. Every corner I turned, every smile I saw from Emily, felt like salt in the wound. And yet, a tiny spark flickered inside me, whispering that maybe she wasn't all I wanted. "Maybe," I said aloud, unsure if Liam or Sarah heard, "maybe I deserve better." Liam grinned. "Finally. Took you long enough. That's the start, man. The rest, you figure out step by step." I felt a strange mix of relief and fear. Relief because someone acknowledged my pain, fear because I didn't know how to move forward. "Step by step," I repeated, testing the words like a lifeline. "Exactly," Sarah said. "One step at a time. And we'll be here, every step of the way." I looked at both of them and felt a flicker of something I hadn't felt in days, hope. Not for Emily. Not for her words or her smile. But for me. Maybe this was the start of something else. Something bigger than heartbreak. Something that could make me stronger, wiser, maybe even happy again. And for the first time since she rejected me, I didn't feel completely powerless. I saw her first across the crowded hall at the reunion. Emily. Perfect, polished, walking with that same self-assured smile that had once made me feel like nothing else mattered. My chest tightened, and my stomach turned. I hadn't expected to feel this, anything. I thought years would have dulled the pain, or at least made it bearable. But seeing her now, like she had never rejected me, stirred a storm I hadn't prepared for. "Hey, long time no see," she said, stopping in front of me, leaning casually against the wall. Her eyes glinted, unreadable. I swallowed, forcing a calm I didn't feel. "Yeah. It's been, what, 5 years?" "Something like that," she replied, tilting her head with that little smirk. "You've changed." I clenched my fists in my pockets. "I guess people do." She laughed softly, a sound that used to make my heart race. Now it just made it ache. "I saw your post about your promotion. Congrats. You're doing well." "Thanks," I said, voice clipped. I wasn't sure if I wanted her approval or if I wanted to make her regret speaking to me at all. "And you, everything good?" Emily tilted her chin up, eyes scanning the crowd like she owned the place. "Of course. Life's busy, but good. Can't complain." I felt the familiar sting of casual arrogance. "Busy, yeah. You've always been good at looking happy on the outside." She raised an eyebrow. "Always? Funny. You sound bitter. I thought you moved on." I have," I said, though I wasn't entirely sure. "Mostly." Emily's eyes softened for the briefest second. Then she straightened. "Mostly?" Her smirk returned, sharper this time. "I guess I'm lucky you're still holding on to me in your thoughts." I felt a flash of anger. "Lucky? You're lucky you're walking around like nothing happened." Her smirk faltered. She looked down, twisting her bracelet, and then back at me. I was young. I didn't know better. It wasn't about hurting you. I just. You just what?" I demanded. "You rejected me in front of everyone. I trusted you, Emily. I loved you." Her gaze dropped again, quiet for a second. "I know. I was scared. People's opinions, expectations. I didn't think I could handle it." I shook my head, struggling to keep my voice steady. "Scared? And I was supposed to understand?" "I waited, Emily. I waited for years. And now you just appear, smug, like everything's fine." Her smile softened again, but not enough to erase the memory of betrayal. "I never wanted to hurt you. I swear. I thought you'd understand someday." I clenched my jaw. "Understand? How am I supposed to understand? That your pride was more important than me? That your choices hurt someone who trusted you completely?" She flinched, just slightly. I was wrong. I know that now. But I can't change the past." I studied her. Subtle things had shifted, her posture, the faint shadow under her eyes, but that arrogance, that self-assuredness, it was still there. And for a moment, I wanted to hate her entirely. But something inside me hesitated. "I don't know what I want from you," I admitted, voice quieter now. "Part of me wants to scream, to make you feel what I felt. Part of me wants to just walk away." Emily's lips parted slightly. You could just walk away." I looked down at my hands. "I could. Maybe I should. But part of me wants to see if there's regret. Real regret. Not just words." Her eyes flickered with something I couldn't place. Shame? Guilt? Or just the faint echo of the girl I once knew? I didn't know. I didn't trust myself to know anymore. I straightened, meeting her gaze. I'm not the same person I was, Emily. I'm not waiting anymore. And if you think your smile is enough to undo the years of pain, it's not. She didn't speak. Just looked at me, a mixture of defiance and something fragile behind her eyes. I turned away, walking into the crowd, letting the noise swallow her, letting my pulse calm. My heart still ached, yes. But for the first time, I felt the stirrings of choice. Revenge? Letting go? I didn't know yet. But I knew one thing, she wouldn't control me like she used to. And maybe that was enough for now. I hadn't expected to meet Daniel today. He was waiting by the coffee machine, casually scrolling through his phone like he owned the place. Liam nudged me. Hey, that's your new project partner. Go introduce yourself. I took a deep breath. Yeah, sure. My voice sounded steadier than I felt. Daniel, right? I started, extending my hand. He shook it firmly. I'm Daniel. Heard a lot about your work. Hopefully the stories are true. I chuckled. Mostly exaggerated. Depends on who you ask. He smirked. I'll be the judge of that. So, how long have you been here? Couple of months, I admitted. Still trying to figure out this whole adulting thing. Welcome to the club, he said, grinning. Trust me, no one really knows what they're doing. I laughed, feeling something loosen in my chest. Conversation with someone who wasn't Emily, someone who didn't have a history tied to heartbreak, felt freeing. Liam leaned close, whispering, see. People like him make life feel lighter. You should hang out more, man. I nodded, but the moment was shattered by a buzzing in my pocket. My heart sank when I saw her name, Emily. I hesitated, thumb hovering over the screen. Go ahead, Liam said. If you want to ignore it, fine. But don't pretend it doesn't sting. I exhaled slowly. Text. She's asking if we can catch up sometime. Casual, like nothing ever happened. Daniel, oblivious, continued talking about the project. But all I could hear was Emily's voice in my head. Catch up. Like nothing ever happened. I stuffed my phone back into my pocket. I don't know, Liam. Part of me wants to just tell her to go to hell. Part of me. I don't know. Liam nodded, serious now. It's okay to feel that way. She hurt you, but this isn't just anger. It's all the old stuff mixed in, trust, hope, heartbreak. I trusted her, I said, voice tight. I thought she was different. Now, seeing her reach out like this. I don't know what to feel. Daniel glanced at me. Everything all right? I forced a small smile. Yeah. Just, old friends reconnecting can be complicated, I guess. He tilted his head. Complicated how? Just, history, I said. Some people leave a mark you can't erase. You know what I mean? Daniel nodded slowly, thoughtful. I do. And sometimes the best way forward is to find someone new, someone who doesn't come with all that baggage. I stared at him, surprised at how easily his words resonated. Yeah, maybe you're right. I keep thinking about her, but maybe I've been stuck. Stuck in the past. Exactly, Daniel said, smiling. You deserve better than someone who made you feel small. Don't waste time on old ghosts. Liam elbowed me lightly. See? There's hope, man. You just have to decide whether to walk toward it or stay frozen where she left you. I exhaled, rubbing my temples. I don't know if I can just forget her. Not yet. But I know I can't let her control me anymore. Control? Daniel asked. Yeah, I admitted. I let her rejection shape how I feel about myself, about everything. And now, even when she reaches out, I feel this weird pull. Anger, confusion, some stupid part of me still cares. Liam nodded knowingly. That's normal. The question is, do you let her back in, or do you move on completely? I stared at my hands, twisting them. I don't know. I want to tell her off, but part of me wants to see if there's real regret. Not the casual kind she shows now. Something that makes her realize what she lost. Daniel leaned back, folding his arms. Just be honest with yourself. Whatever you choose, make it for you. Not to punish her. Not to prove a point. For you. I nodded, heart pounding. I could feel the tension slowly easing, but a storm still brewed inside. Yeah, for me. That's the only way I can do this right. Just then, my phone buzzed again. Another text. Emily. I really want to talk. Please. It's important. I stared at it, my fingers hovering over the screen, unsure whether to type a reply, or just walk away. The pull was real, but so was my resolve. Liam gave me a gentle pat on the shoulder. Whatever you decide, don't rush. Think it through. You're stronger than you realize. I pocketed my phone, taking a deep breath. Maybe Daniel was right. Maybe this was my chance to step towards something better, to stop letting the past define me. But a small, nagging part of me wondered, could I face Emily again without falling into old patterns? Could I move on while she was still reaching for me? I didn't have the answer yet. Not today. I didn't plan to watch her fall apart. I told myself I wouldn't care, that it was none of my business, but somehow, I couldn't help noticing. Emily had that confident stride once, the kind that made everyone notice her. Now, she looked smaller. Hesitant. Like she was tiptoeing through a world that had stopped noticing her. I saw her at the coffee shop near my office. She sat alone, scrolling through her phone, eyes tired, lip biting absent-mindedly. It hit me, this mix of something darkly satisfying and, I don't know, empathy. Liam leaned back in his chair, coffee in hand. You're staring again, he said, smirking. Don't tell me you still care. I don't, exactly, I said carefully, keeping my voice low. It's just, she's not that untouchable girl anymore. People notice that. Sarah, sitting across from me, raised an eyebrow. Notice what? That she's human. I shrugged. Something like that. She's struggling. Socially, professionally. And I can see it. Subtle stuff, but, I trailed off, trying to ignore the warmth in my chest when I realized I wasn't the only one observing her decline. Careful, man, Liam said. You don't want to turn into some petty guy who gloats over someone else's misfortune. I'm not gloating, I said defensively. It's just, life has this way of balancing itself. I don't need to do anything. I'm not plotting revenge. I'm just noticing. Sarah nodded slowly. That's true. Karma doesn't need our help, but it sure makes things clear. I sipped my coffee, watching Emily across the street. Vanessa joined her group last week, the one who always whispered behind her back, and now I noticed her too. Vanessa's smile had faded. She seemed uneasy, like she regretted the way she'd egged Emily on years ago. She looks different, I said, voice barely above a whisper. Different, yeah, Liam said. Not in a good way. You notice that? Vanessa too. Feels like the universe gave them a little mirror. I chuckled, reluctantly agreeing. Mirror is the right word. Emily's pride, it's cracking, and Vanessa, she's seeing what she helped create. Sarah leaned in. Don't let yourself enjoy it too much. There's a fine line between observing and feeding old grudges. I nodded, thinking about that. I know. It's hard not to feel satisfied when I see she's not untouchable anymore. Not invincible. You mean, not invincible to reality, Liam corrected. Not you. And that's an important distinction. I exhaled, feeling the weight of the reminder. Yeah, I get it. This isn't about me. I'm not taking revenge. Life is just doing its thing. And I'm noticing it. Exactly, Sarah said. That's maturity, man. Not rubbing it in her face, just realizing she's human. And proud people sometimes have to face the consequences of pride. I glanced back at Emily. She laughed at something on her phone, an awkward, forced laugh, and then shoved it into her bag, looking embarrassed. My chest tightened, a mixture of something like relief, satisfaction, and a strange twinge of sadness. Feel bad for her yet? Liam teased, nudging me. No, I said quickly. Not really. I feel complicated. I mean, I hope she learns. I hope she realizes she can't treat people the way she did and expect life to ignore it. Sarah smiled knowingly. That's what I like about you. You're not petty. You're observant. You learn from it, without letting it control you. I nodded, taking a sip of coffee, letting my thoughts settle. I realized then that revenge wasn't always about action. Sometimes, it was just witnessing. Witnessing people face their choices, seeing the subtle cracks where arrogance used to be. That felt enough. And Vanessa? Liam asked. She's paying attention too. You noticed that? I nodded. Yeah. She looks uneasy now, like she regrets how she treated me, and how she treated Emily. I think even she's learning something about pride. People like that, they have to feel it at some point, Sarah said. Otherwise, nothing sticks. Life has a way of teaching lessons if you let it. I stared at my coffee, swirling the liquid in my cup, thinking about all the years of hurt, the waiting, the heartbreak. I realized something important. I didn't need to do anything. I didn't need to chase revenge. Just living my life, observing reality unfold, was enough. Emily glanced up suddenly, catching my gaze from across the street. For a second, I thought I saw something in her eyes, regret, maybe, or acknowledgement. She quickly looked away, like she didn't want me to see. I smiled faintly. That's the thing, I said to myself. Sometimes, people face their own consequences, and we don't have to interfere. Life does the work for us. Liam chuckled. See? That's the difference between you and some petty guy. You've got perspective. I hope she learns, I said softly. And I hope I've learned too. That, you don't need revenge to feel justified. Sometimes, just moving forward, watching life unfold, that's enough. Sarah reached over and tapped my arm. Exactly. And you're doing it without letting it poison you. That's the hardest part. I looked back at Emily one last time, her shoulders slightly slumped, her smile a little forced, her eyes darting nervously. And I felt something I hadn't felt in years. Calm. For once, I was witnessing the balance of life, not caught up in it. And that, I realized, was the kind of satisfaction that didn't hurt anyone, including me. I didn't expect her to approach me directly. Emily, face flushed, eyes glossy, voice trembling, was standing in front of me, like all the years of pride and distance had evaporated overnight. I need to talk to you, she said, her fingers twisting nervously. Please. Just a few minutes. I crossed my arms, letting the silence stretch between us. You've got my attention. What is it? Another casual catch-up? No, she almost shouted, but immediately tried to soften it. I mean, I made mistakes. Huge mistakes. I hurt you, and You hurt me. I interrupted, voice sharp. Emily, do you know what that means? Do you know what it felt like to stand there, in front of everyone, and have the person I loved reject me? To have my pride and heart shattered in one sentence. Her lips quivered. I was young. I didn't know. I thought I was protecting us, protecting you. Protecting me. I laughed bitterly. By humiliating me. By pretending I didn't matter. You call that protection? Emily's shoulders slumped, small and vulnerable in a way I hadn't seen since high school. I know I was cruel. And I can't take it back. But I can, try to make things right. Please. Give me a chance. Just one chance. I felt a strange mixture of anger and disbelief. One chance. You mean, after years of waiting, after years of humiliation, you just waltz in here and ask for a chance? Do you even understand what that means? I do, she pleaded, voice breaking. I've thought about you every day. Every mistake I made. I see them now. I know I hurt you. I can't let this go without saying I'm sorry. Without trying. I inhaled sharply, forcing myself to stay calm. My hands shook slightly, but my voice was steadier than I expected. Do you know what it took for me to get here? To stop being that naive boy you rejected? To stop letting your pride dictate my feelings? I've spent years rebuilding myself while you wandered in your arrogance, oblivious. She flinched, looking away. I realize that now. And I know I don't deserve your forgiveness. But please, hear me out. I need a chance to show you I've changed. I stepped back, pacing, trying to sort the storm of emotions inside me. Rage, sadness, longing, and something I hadn't felt in years, clarity. I wasn't that boy anymore. I wasn't the one who would kneel for her approval or swallow her arrogance silently. Do you know what it's like to wait for someone, Emily? I asked quietly. To hope every day, every hour, that maybe they'll come around, that maybe they'll see you the way you deserve. And then, to have them reject you in the most public, humiliating way possible. Her eyes filled with tears. I know. I feel it. Every day. And I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I shook my head. Sorry doesn't erase the years of pain. Sorry doesn't fix the nights I cried myself to sleep, wondering if I was broken, wondering if I'd ever be enough. Sorry doesn't undo the way I felt humiliated, powerless, and small. She reached for my hand, tentatively. I want to make it right. Let me. Just, let me try. I pulled my hand back gently, not angrily, but firmly. That's the thing, Emily. I've grown. I've moved forward. I've built a life that isn't waiting for your approval. I've learned that my worth isn't tied to your pride, or anyone else's. Daniel's words echoed in my mind, you deserve someone who doesn't come with baggage like hers. Someone who sees your worth without the past attached. I looked at Emily, really looked at her. The arrogance was gone, replaced by vulnerability, but that vulnerability didn't erase the pain she caused. I'm not the same person you rejected, I said. I've learned self-respect. I've learned boundaries. And I've learned that forgiveness doesn't mean I let someone back into my life, not if they've spent years being careless with my heart. Emily's voice shook. So, there's no chance. None. I shook my head slowly. Not now. Maybe someday, if you've truly changed. But not now. I won't let you erase the years of growth I fought for. I won't let my past define my present. Her lips trembled. I understand. I hoped. I know, I said softly. I know. And I don't hate you. But I also don't owe you a second chance. Life has a way of teaching lessons. Sometimes you watch, sometimes you experience, but the growth, that's mine. And I'm choosing me. She lowered her eyes, defeated but not angry. I see. You've grown. I have, I said, feeling a weight lift off my chest. And I'll continue to grow. Without needing you to validate it. She nodded slowly, stepping back. I hope you're happy. I am, I said honestly. And I'll keep being happy, Emily. I hope you find your way too, but, separately. As she walked away, a strange calm settled over me. The storm of emotions had passed, leaving clarity in its wake. I realized I didn't need revenge, I didn't need her apology, and I didn't need closure from her to move forward. My life was mine, and I was ready to embrace it fully. I didn't wait for permission anymore. I started making choices that mattered to me, staying late at work to lead projects, accepting opportunities one would have second-guessed before, even moving into my own apartment instead of staying in the comfort zone I shared with Liam. I felt alive. Look at you, Liam said one evening, leaning against my kitchen counter with a beer in hand. You're actually glowing. You've changed. I smiled, not arrogantly, just peacefully. Yeah. I realized something, Liam. I don't need her, or anyone else, to define who I am. He grinned. Finally. About time. Took a while, though. Some lessons take longer to stick, I admitted. But they stick better when you really feel them. And then, as if on cue, she appeared again. Emily. Standing at my office building in trance, looking hesitant, vulnerable. Not the proud girl from years ago, not the arrogant woman from the reunion. Just, her, messy and human. Hey, she said quietly, glancing around nervously. I didn't move from my seat, not immediately. What is it, Emily? Another chance? Another apology? She shook her head quickly. No. I just needed to see you. To talk. Please. I stood, keeping my voice controlled. Talk about what? The years of mistakes? The humiliation? Or the fact that you expect me to fix your regrets? Her eyes welled up. I know I hurt you. I know I failed you. But I'm really struggling, and I cut her off. Struggling doesn't give you a free pass to me. You think your vulnerability now wipes away the years of pain? Emily flinched. I thought maybe. Maybe what? I asked sharply. That I'd still be the naive boy you rejected? That I'd forgive you without seeing real change? She lowered her gaze. I don't know. I wanted you to know. I'm sorry. More than I can say. Sorry isn't enough, I said, voice tight. I've waited long enough for apologies. I've built myself without you. And now. I choose me. That's the power I didn't have back then. And I won't give it to you, Emily. She bit her lip, blinking back tears. I don't know what to do. I thought, maybe we could. Maybe we could what? I asked, stepping closer, eyes locked on hers. Maybe pretend the past never happened. Maybe act like you didn't ruin someone's life with a single choice. Her voice faltered. I didn't know how to handle things. I was proud. Stupid. I exhaled, letting the tension ease just slightly. Exactly. And that pride cost me years of pain. And now, it's costing you a chance to walk in my life without consequences. From the corner of my eye, I saw Mark, one of her new acquaintances, fidgeting uncomfortably. Emily, he said softly. Maybe we should leave her. Mark, stay out of this, I snapped. This is between me and Emily. You're witnessing the consequences of arrogance, yes, but this is reality, not gossip. Emily's shoulders slumped. I understand. I wanted to explain. To try. You had your chance, I said firmly. And you blew it. You'll have to live with that. She swallowed hard, eyes glistening. I see that now. And I'm sorry. Truly. I let the words sink in, both hers and my own. I noticed the subtle reactions around me, Liam's nod, Daniel's approving look, even Sarah's faint smile in the distance. They weren't cheering for my anger, they were witnessing my clarity, my emotional growth. You're learning, I said quietly. But learning doesn't erase the past. It just teaches you. Teaches you what pride can cost, what arrogance can destroy. Emily whispered, I guess I have a lot to fix. Not just with you, but everything. I see that now. I nodded once. And that's your choice. Not mine. I've made mine. I choose to move forward, not backward. To be stronger, wiser, independent. Her gaze fell, shame and regret plain on her face. She didn't need my words to feel it, her expression said it all. I hope you find your way, I said finally. But don't expect me to be part of it. That's no longer my life to give. That's yours to rebuild. Alone, if necessary. Emily nodded slowly, lips pressed together, a quiet acceptance settling over her. She glanced at Mark, who seemed uncertain, and then turned away, leaving me with a calm I hadn't felt in years. I exhaled, letting the finality sink in. For the first time, I wasn't angry. I wasn't hurt. I wasn't longing. I was free. Liam clapped me lightly on the shoulder. That was impressive. You didn't just resist her. You owned yourself. Daniel smiled. Exactly. That's the difference between who you were and who you've become. Power isn't about revenge. It's about control, over your life, your choices, your heart. I nodded, feeling the truth of that settle deep. I had it now. And nothing, and no one, could take it away. I didn't expect to see her like this. Emily, once untouchable, radiant, walking with confidence like the world belonged to her, now looked small and fractured. Word had gotten around, her projects failing, friends drifting away, Mark leaving abruptly. And there she was, standing at my office building in trance, looking desperate. Please, she said, voice barely above a whisper. Can we talk? I need you to understand. I leaned back in my chair, arms folded, letting the silence stretch. Understand what, Emily? That you ruined everything? That your pride destroyed more than you ever realized? Her hands trembled. I know I hurt you. I know I messed up. I didn't see it then, but I do now. I've lost so much. And I don't know how to fix it. I shook my head slowly, keeping my tone calm. Fix it? Emily, some things can't be fixed. Some lessons aren't meant for apologies to erase. You can't undo years of damage with a few words now. Tears brimmed in her eyes. I was stupid. I was proud. I thought I knew better, and I hurt everyone around me. Especially you. Please. I'm sorry. I don't expect anything, Just what? I asked, leaning forward slightly. Want me to pity you? Want me to let you back into my life? Want me to erase everything you made me feel? She flinched. No. I wanted to tell you the truth. I wanted you to know that I regret it all. Every humiliation, every broken trust. I can't. I can't stop thinking about it. I let her words sink in, feeling the old ache of betrayal stir for a moment, then fade. I realized something crucial: I didn't need to punish her. I didn't need to gloat. I didn't need her approval. I just needed closure. Emily, I said slowly, voice steady, I hear you. I hear the regret, the apology, the tears. But that doesn't change what happened. That doesn't give you a free pass to undo the past. Life has a way of balancing itself. You're living that now. She sniffled, wiping her eyes. I know. I hoped, maybe. Maybe what? I asked softly. That I'd forgive you and forget it all. That I'd let you back in like nothing happened. She shook her head, barely able to meet my eyes. No. I wanted to explain. To say it aloud, so I can. I don't know, move forward. I nodded once. Then say it. Say it for yourself, not for me. Say it so you can finally face the consequences of your choices. I'm sorry, she whispered. I know I can't make it right. I've lost so much. I understand now, Anne. I hope you're happy. I really do. Her words were heavy, laced with genuine remorse, but I felt no urge to temper her pain. This was the natural outcome of her arrogance and carelessness. And for the first time in years, I didn't feel any bitterness. I felt clarity. I am happy, I said calmly. I've built my life on my choices, my growth, my self-respect. You don't get to erase that. And you shouldn't want to. You need to learn from what you've lost. That's your journey now. Not mine. She nodded slowly, tears spilling freely now. I understand. I'll try to be better. Truly. I hope you do, I said softly, feeling a strange sense of relief settle in my chest. But understand this, my forgiveness isn't for you. It's for me. For my peace. You'll have to live with your mistakes, your pride, your regrets. And I'll live with my life, without looking back. She lowered her gaze, silent, accepting the truth. The woman who once held power over my heart had no control here. I realized the power had shifted years ago, but now it was undeniable. My heart was free, my mind clear. I had confronted the pain, acknowledged it, and chosen myself over her. I took a deep breath. Closure doesn't mean I hate you. Closure means I've faced the past and refused to let it define my future. That's what I wanted, to reclaim myself. And I have. Emily swallowed hard, nodding. I see. And I hope you keep being strong. I will, I said, finally smiling faintly. And I hope you learn from this, in whatever way life teaches you. Goodbye, Emily. She stepped back, eyes glistening, and walked away, leaving me with nothing but my own heartbeat and the calm certainty that I had conquered the last shadow she cast over my life. For the first time, I felt whole. I sat on my couch, phone in hand, staring at the messages from Emily. All the apologies, the confessions, the desperate pleas for understanding. For a moment, I felt the old ache, years of hurt, humiliation, longing. But it wasn't the same. That ache no longer controlled me. Liam leaned against the doorframe, arms crossed. Going to do it? He asked, nodding at my phone. I sighed, fingers hovering over the screen. Yeah. I think it's time. Time to stop holding on to her words. Time to stop letting the past sneak into my present. Sarah appeared behind him, smiling softly. You've come so far. You don't need this baggage anymore. I know, I said. I've lived through the pain. I've learned. I've grown. And now, I'm choosing myself over all of it. I opened the last message from Emily, simple, heartfelt, and full of remorse. I'm sorry. Truly. I hope you find peace. I read it once, twice, and then I deleted it. Feels good? Liam asked. It does, I admitted, a smile tugging at my lips. Feels like freedom. Just then, Daniel called. Hey, he said. You okay? I laughed lightly. Better than okay. I think I finally closed the chapter. Let the past stay in the past. That's great, he said warmly. I've been hoping you'd reach this point. You've worked hard for it. I've worked hard for me, I corrected. Not for anyone else. He chuckled. Exactly. And that's what matters. You've taken control of your life, your heart, your happiness. I felt a rush of clarity. All those years of waiting, of hoping, of heartbreak, they weren't wasted. They taught me boundaries, self-worth, and resilience. I didn't need Emily's approval or regret. I didn't need to revisit the pain. I had everything I needed inside me. Later that evening, I returned the necklace she had given me back in high school. I held it for a moment, remembering the prideful smile she once had, the dreams we shared, and the heartbreak that followed. Then I placed it carefully in a small box and left it on her doorstep with a note, "This belongs to you now." I've moved forward. I stepped back, feeling the weight lift. The symbolic gesture wasn't about revenge, it was about acknowledging the past, respecting the lessons, and letting go. Liam nudged me as we walked back. See? That wasn't so hard. And it means more than deleting messages. You actually released it. I did, I said. I really did. And it feels powerful. Sarah smiled, her eyes reflecting pride. You're finally free. Free from the ghosts of the past, free to build your future. I nodded, glancing at the skyline outside my window. Life stretched ahead like a blank canvas, waiting for me to paint it. And I realized I wasn't scared anymore. Not of rejection, not of heartbreak, not of the unknown. A message popped up on my phone. Not from Emily, but from Daniel. Dinner tomorrow? Celebrate your freedom? I smiled, typing back, absolutely. It's time to enjoy the life I've earned. I set the phone down and sank into the couch, letting the quiet settle. The lingering ache was gone. The heartbreak had transformed into strength. The humiliation had shaped resilience. The longing had matured into wisdom. And somewhere deep inside, I felt the karmic balance of life. Emily's mistakes had found their way back to her, her regrets were hers to carry. My past didn't need to be rewritten, it only needed to be acknowledged, and then left behind. I leaned back, closing my eyes, imagining all the possibilities ahead. Life without regrets, without longing, without the weight of someone else's pride dictating my emotions. I'm ready, I whispered to myself. Ready for the next chapter. Ready for me. And for the first time in years, I felt complete. The morning sun filtered through my apartment window, warm and steady, like a promise I hadn't felt in years. I sipped my coffee, letting the quiet fill the space, feeling the weight of the past finally lift. Daniel appeared at the door with his usual grin. Morning, superstar. Ready for today's big meeting? I chuckled, setting my cup down. I am. And I'm not nervous. Weird, right? Used to be a wreck over things like this. He raised an eyebrow. Yeah, you've changed. I can see it. Confidence suits you. I shrugged, smiling. I learned the hard way that letting someone else dictate your emotions, that's the real disaster. Now, I focus on me. On what I can control. Smart, he said. And it shows. People notice when someone owns their life. You're going places, trust me. I felt a warmth in my chest, not from flattery, but from acknowledgement. It wasn't about proving anything to anyone, it was about realizing my own worth. Hey, Daniel said, leaning closer, voice softer. Lunch later? I found this little place you'll love. Could be a chance to celebrate your new chapter. I hesitated, then smiled. I'd like that. I think it's time to embrace the possibilities, not just the safety of my routine. Exactly, he said, beaming. Opportunities are waiting, and so is happiness. You've earned both. I laughed, a sound lighter than it had been in years. Yeah, earned both. And finally ready to take them without guilt or fear. Later, as I walked to the office, I reflected on everything, the rejection, the humiliation, the endless nights of wondering if I'd ever recover. It all seemed distant now, like someone else's story. A chapter closed, lessons learned, and strength gained. Liam caught up to me outside the building. You look unstoppable, he said, smirking. Seriously, man, whatever Emily tried to break, it just made you stronger. I smiled, shaking my head. It's more than that. I realized I don't need closure from anyone else. I gave it to myself. That's the power I've been chasing all along. He nodded slowly. Yeah. That's the real freedom. I can see it in you. The office doors opened, and Daniel waved from inside. I stepped in, taking a deep breath. Ready. Ready for the challenges, ready for the opportunities, ready for life without lingering shadows. You ready? Daniel asked as I approached. I met his eyes, calm and sure. I am. More than ever. Let's do this. As we walked toward the conference room, I felt a quiet joy, different from fleeting happiness. It was steady, earned, and wholly mine. I thought of the past, of Emily, of every heartbreak and every mistake, and I smiled, not bitterly, not with regret, but with gratitude. They had brought me here. Hey, Daniel said as we paused at the elevator, you ever think about? I don't know, love again. Someone new. I laughed softly. Maybe someday. But for now, I'm in love with this, my life, my choices, my growth. That's more than enough. He grinned. Fair enough. But don't close the door completely. Life has funny ways of giving us surprises. I nodded, thinking about that. Surprises. Opportunities. Freedom. I was ready to receive them, not from the past, but from the life I was building. As the elevator doors closed, I felt a lightness in my chest I hadn't known for years. The past had shaped me, but it no longer chained me. Every betrayal, every heartbreak, every regret had become part of the foundation of who I was. And it was strong. I whispered to myself, just barely audible, here's to me. Here's to now. And here's to everything waiting ahead. And for the first time in a long time, I felt whole, hopeful, and free.